Welcome back to week 2 of the Pokemon Trainer School League. My name is Wire Dragon. I'm joined by my co-host Lord Luneth this time, and
Woo!
I'm excited, Lord. We got probably one of the coolest matches going in: Rain versus Sun.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Things are gonna get wild and wacky. I am so hype.
Yeah, we've been secretly behind the scenes talking about this match. It's the weather war that we're all excited to see, and it's going to be interesting to take a look at some of the Pokemon that we have options to, and what these trainers actually bring to try to combat each other's weather setter. I think
Yeah,
we,
I am. Oh, yeah, I'm super excited to see what they bring.
yeah, let's
Uh,
I think we take a look at the Bone Club team here first. I mean, there's a lot of rain Pokemon, but what's striking out to you here, dog?
um, Honestly, it's the Scizor. I've always loved this Pokemon on the Bone Club. I think that Pokemon is gross. No matter what the weather condition's gonna be, that Pokemon's gonna be able to shine. And I also really love the Gastrodon. That Pokemon just having so much bulk and so much pressure. I think it'll be absolutely crucial to the strategy.
And while the rain is here, the sun is on the opposite side of the field, and we do have a switch in Terra captains this week too, which I want to point out.
That is true. We have the Rotom Wash on the Bone Club and the Scizor as well. And for Sinister Quills, we had the swap to the Scovillain and the Tauros.
Right. Any specific Pokemon you like from the Squill Squad going in?
Honestly, I've always loved Dragonite. Multiscale is such a powerful ability. I think it's going to be super good just to be able to tank some hits and deal a lot back at him.
Yeah, and I do want to point out that this Quills team does look a little differently last week, including the fact of that Dragonite that you mentioned coming in for the Brambleghast, as well as the Pincurchin replacing the Lurantis. So a little more diversity in typings coming from the Squill Squad, which is hopefully going to help them out today.
Yeah, all the trades going on behind the scenes just makes me even more and more excited to see what's going on down the line.
And it looks like we are in game, so let's pop right on over in. And coming from the Quills, looks like we got that Pincurchin Torkoal Dragonite. We got that Scovillain Florges and Rotomo. And coming from the Rain team from Bone Club, it's going to be that Rotom Wash, Pelipper, Scizor. It's going to be that Toxapex, Floatzel, and Gudra.
Ooh, I am real excited now. All right.
So, any leads particular that you like here?
Well, we have both the weather leads are here. Both of them are looking at each other. I can't imagine that like staring each other down. They're both just going to immediately throw them both in.
Hmm. It's probably
Uh,
fair. It is true that if they threw him in both at first, it would be Sun Up because Torkoal is the slower Pokemon.
mm. And I wonder if Bone Club is aware of that situation occurring and might try to plan around that, throwing in a better Pokemon for the advantage, like maybe Gudra, just for the a better type advantage.
Yeah, there's some really interesting Pokemon here. Both Layer Setters are up, but amusingly, we talked about that Gastrodon in the pregame, and that's not here. Neither is the Colossal that we mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. So we're it looks like we might be leaning a lot more heavily into the weather itself.
Yeah, leads being selected is going to be the Dragonite versus the Pelipper here. So Pelipper does get led out as we expected the weather, but the Dragonite coming out first from the Quills.
Okay. This is actually really interesting. So Dragonite has good priority with extreme speed. However, I don't know how long this Pelipper is really going to be sticking around. Maybe it's going to try to get some chip damage, switch out, at least break that multi-scale, be able to work its way in.
Yeah, most of the time I believe this Dragonite will be faster, but there's an interesting plethora of moves Pellet can go for. As you said, breaking the multi-scale. It also gets U-turn if it wants to try to do that damage before just switching out, or it can hard switch out into a different Pokemon here. Interesting to see what they're going for, though.
100%. I'm wondering as well, is this going to be
The turn one Thunder for the kill. The Dragonite taking out the Rain Setter. Incredible option from the Quils here. Instantly taking out that beginning Pokemon, Scissor switching in after.
All right, Scissor comes in, and it's still a good Pokemon. If this Dragonite is choiced at all, this was an interesting situation for the Quills. Scissor is the Terror Captain as well on Luden's team, so a lot of things could just come out of the situation.
Yeah, waiting to see move select. It is nice that the rain is up, but these trainers selecting moves here. Dragonite not in a terrible spot either, but it's got to contend with Scizor, and as you said, with that Terra threatening a lot of damage, I assume.
100%.
All right, Dragonite switching out for the Torkoal, setting up that Sun. Terra Steel, Scizor Bullet Punch only does 19% to that Torkoal. Sun up, Scizor still out, and we have confirmed that it is Terra Steel on that Scizor.
All right, Terra Captain has been chosen indeed. Yeah, even I'm surprised that still did so little. Terra Steel Bullet Punch Scissor. Wow.
Yeah. Torkoal being an incredibly physically defensive Pokemon here, I think it's really showing its strength. And we talked about earlier, that Sun being up is now going to be only Sun for the rest of the game, unless there is specifically a Rain Dance user on that team from the Bone Club.
And it really, honestly, we really got to think about how long this Sun is going to last as well. Is this a Heat Rock Torkoal, or is it carrying some other support item?
Yeah, not revealing anything yet, no leftovers or anything like that, so we still don't know this item as that Sizzle switches out into the Gudra. Stealth Rock's coming up from the Torkoal.
Oh, fantastic. That Stealth Rock's coming up is going to be incredible for the Quills, making switching so hard from here on out for Ludens.
Yeah, now we're in a position where we have to take this Gudra. The Torkoal is probably not going to do too much damage to this Pokemon on base, so maybe we're trying to go for a switch here, but into an oncoming, really powerful move from a really specially vested Gudra, assumably.
Yeah, nothing takes a Draco Meteor well.
Well, there is one thing that takes a Draco Meteor very well on this team.
That is very true.
We haven't quite mentioned it yet. There is a big flower sitting right there on the bench.
Oh.
And it switches in. Hydro Pump coming to only doing 12% due to that Sun and incredibly high special defense from the Florges, revealing leftovers healing a little bit after that turn.
Okay. At least technically a little bit of chip damage from the Gudra on the Florges. At least it wasn't the Draco Meteor for the special attack drop.
Yeah, and I mean, just getting any chip on the Florges is probably good, but I mean, we're in a position where we're not sure if this Gudra is going to be able to. Right, this Gudra is revealing Hydro Pump, is not helping the Gudra, so it needs to reveal another move, or they're going to have to somehow get out of here. But with a Florges and Rockstar go down, it's going to be relatively difficult.
Yes, very fair. Looking at this Gudra, and I'm honestly wondering about what kind of set it might be carrying. I think Sap Sipper, if the Quills is not aware of it, might put in a lot of work.
Yeah, two grass types is definitely something. As Flamethrower comes out doing 28%, Wish coming out from the Florges going to be healing the next team member. Either that's currently in, maybe it's just a Florges, or whatever it switches into.
Maybe, I'm honestly thinking this Florges might be here for the long con. Just sitting here, chilling, waiting to take out this Gudra after enough time.
Yeah, really difficult position. Looking to try to get this Gudra to do something, but the special bulk of this Florges is really putting a wrench in the Gudra. Though, the Florges, while being super effective, is probably not doing too much damage back with how bulky that Gudra actually is. Flamethrower coming out, getting the burn on the Florges, which is going to be nice to get rid of that leftovers recovery. Moonblast coming out, doing about 40%, and with that burn and leftovers neutraling out, it's staying around that 92 percentile HP.
Okay. Where our rolls were roughly around 28 to 30% on this Gudra on their Flamethrower. Moonblast is going to win the long con even through Wish at this point.
Yeah, this Gudra is going to have to make some play, and I'm interested to see what comes out. Flamethrower coming out again, doing another 29%. Moonblast straight up going, doing 36%, getting into a range of another one.
This Gudra is going to have to pull out some incredible play. I know this Pokemon's got something, but I think the best bet it might be switching out here. The question is into what Pokemon?
Yeah, it's interesting too, because we haven't seen anything like an Acid Spray come out to try to put this Florges' special defense lower, so Maybe showing it doesn't have it, switching into the Rotom here, taking a chip from that Stealth Rock up. Moonblast dealing 49%, lowering the special attack, getting that chance, revealing the leftovers. It's healing up that Rotom a little bit.
Absolutely insane. Yeah, that special attack drop is going to be pretty harsh against the Rotom. The real question is, does it decide to stay in, or maybe just after the drop, it just Volt switches out, try to get a better play now?
Yeah, it's interesting. We keep talking about the praises of the special defense of this Florges, so interesting to see what this Rotom actually is able to go for here. Hydro Pump coming out in the sun, unfortunately only doing 8 damage. Giga Drain coming out, healing a little, making sure that Rotom dies.
Lorgus, keeping a level field right now, like this Pokemon is really shining, showing how powerful just being a special tank can be.
And I want to point out, too, that that was turn 7 that the sun went down, so it is confirmed that Heat Rock Torkoal.
Yes, you are correct. I think right now that the sun is finally down, we might switch into something, maybe back into the Gudra. Oh,
Scissor comes in, taking a chip from that, potentially trying to just get this Florges off the field.
we have only seen Bullet Punch from the Scissor, so there's a good chance the Scissor might be choiced, either Scarf or Banned.
Switching out into the Torkoal out of the Florges from the Quils. Bullet Punch coming through, still only doing that 18% damage, returning that sun right back up with that Heat Rock for another 7 turns.
Yeah, Vigamer really just trying to shut down every type of water type move for his opponent, making sure there's going to be no disadvantage typing run against him.
Really looking for an incredible offensive play coming out here as he switches into the Toxapex, taking another chunk from Stealth Rock's Yawn coming out, making that Toxapex drowsy. Going to sleep the following turn unless it leaves.
Yeah, this Toxapex, I'm surprised it didn't come out earlier. I honestly like this Toxapex coming in a bit ago, maybe setting up a little bit of hazards.
Incursion coming out here, Toxic going on, but this actually stops his own Yawn, so his Pokemon can no longer go to sleep. But Electric Terrain coming up, Electric type into that Water type.
Yeah, stopping, maybe the Yawn really wasn't that going to be that effective against the Toxapex, so V's just looking to come in, clean it up, and move on to the next Pokemon in the roster.
Yeah, waiting to see the results here. Electric move allegedly being threatened here, I assume. As it switches out into the Scizor, taking another chip. Spikes coming out from the Contribution.
He's really trying to hammer home that there's going to be no more switching going on, otherwise Pokemon are going to go down. Spikes level 1 and Stealth Rock should be chipping for a decent chunk out of a Pokemon's HP at this point.
Yeah, no Defogger currently visible, so these are probably here to stay as we're waiting to select moves with this Electric Train still up, and the sun. A very bright battlefield, I'll be real.
I love it. It's just all yellow all the time.
It's really reflecting that shiny Scizor. It's glaring back at me right now.
Maybe in reality the Scissors actually the steel typing, but just all the color around it is just reflecting.
Torkoal coming back out, Bullet Punch doing 20, the highest roll it's hit so far, but still at Torkoal at a nice, comfortable 43%.
I would love to see this Scizor just wind up going all the way, just with these bullet punches just coming in and just.
Switching out for the Toxapex, taking decent chip. Body Press coming out, dealing 10% to that Toxapex. Rocky Helmet revealed, dealing 17% back to that attacking Torkoal.
Rocky Helmet, that's really awesome. No, though this, I'm assuming this is just going to be one big physic bulk Pokemon.
Yeah, Rotomo switching in here, Toxic coming out onto it, getting another Pokemon with that status condition.
Luden's run has made a really good job actually selling out the Sun the second time. Has not lost a single Mon yet, and got Toxic on 2 of his opponent's Pokemon.
Yeah, Electric Train did go down that turn, so this Electric move from this Rotom, if it wants to go for it, is definitely going to be less than it would be. Reflect coming up, Recover being shown. So set up turn for both players here.
Okay, Reflect is interesting here, probably trying to protect against the Scizor and the Floatzel.
Thunderbolt coming out 71%, Surfer being given back 11% from that, and then the Toxic coming in slowly wildering down this Rotom-Mo.
This Toxapex is I think was it revealed that it had Regenerator?
Yes,
Did
I believe
we
so. I believe it did come back at full health, so it should have regenerated here. Switching out
okay,
into
yeah.
that Gudra, taking 12, taking 13, dies before the move comes out. Volt Switch fails because there's no valid Pokemon, 24%, but a 6-3 lead for the Quills.
Oh,
Scissor
that's
switching in.
nuts. It denied the Volt Switch. That means the Rotom is now in a really precarious position now with the toxic damage.
Yeah, really good play, interestingly. So now this Rotom is going to have to hard switch out or sacrifice itself to the Scizor, who's allegedly probably going for this Bullet Punch again, I assume. Switching out into that Torkoal, setting up Sun once more. Bullet Punch only doing 9% with that Reflect Up this time.
I was really hoping this Scizor would go all the way, take it out. But
Toxapex coming in, taking another good chunk. Yawn going onto that Toxapex. So we'll see if the Electric type comes back in to set the terrain. But there is a drowsy Toxapex and a relatively low Torkoal Reflect petering out that turn.
and it looks like just looking at speed tiers.
Scavillain coming in, recover. Finally asleep is this Toxapex.
Toxapex taking a nap. Not the best position into the Skull Villain. Assuming that it has chlorophyll, so this Pokemon is going to be excessively fast for the next 5 turns in the sun.
That's correct. Zanheba coming out 74%, revealing that Rocky Helmet and the Life Orb coming from the Skullville. Folks,
Okay. Yeah, the Life Orb.
Floatzel switching in, taking decent damage from the hazards. Then Headbutt comes out. Critical hit, 76%, killing that Floatzel. Another Life Orb proc. Switching in that Pax once again. Still asleep, still taking damage.
Yeah, this Toxapex is honestly I putting in a lot of work getting the chip damage on the Skull Villain, but unfortunately still asleep.
Yeah, Zen Headbutt still doing 42%. Scovillain is going down here in HP due to the fact that it's getting hit with this Rocky Helmet and its own Life Orb. But Final Zen Headbutt putting this Toxapex away. Scizor being the only Pokemon remaining for the Bone Club as it switches in, taking yet again more damage from those hazards.
Yeah, these hazards earlier were so good. They were just setting up this entire game.
Switching out into the Florges here, Bullet Punch killing it. So we do get a kill here, potentially just trying to get a stack off to switch into a new Pokemon here.
Also, maybe trying to save the Scovillain for some kind of future play.
Hmm. Well, we're waiting to see
Question.
what it switches in here too. He's got a lot of options.
Yeah, I think so. At this point, Torkoal, this is probably the last sun that we'll see.
Most likely waiting for trainers to select moves, but we haven't seen the Scissor click at anything else. Maybe showing it is that Choice Banded set.
Yeah, if it is a choice band Scizor, and it's quite possibly Technician as
Hmm.
well as the normal Scizor style. Just coming in, it's most likely going to take out this Torkoal. The question is, what other Pokemon still alive? I'm actually taking a look at the numbers, and honestly, a lot of these Pokemon are a very low health total right now. That Bullet Punch just
Switching into the Rotom I, I believe this Dragonite is still at full health, and if it is that multi-skill variant, would probably live one, but I'm waiting to see what the results of that.
the real maybe the question is, what is the full Dragonite set? Maybe he doesn't have anything that's going to be super effective against the Scizor.
Pincurchin comes back in, setting back up that electric terrain here. Toxic up. Actually, thinking here, I don't know if this Bullet Punch is going to do that much. This is a pretty bulky Pokemon, and it's got a relatively good defensive boot as Bullet Punch comes out, only doing 30%. Rocky Helmet shown, and there goes the discharge. That is the end of the game. 4-0 win for the Cyndaquils here.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, this was I've been a lot. I was very excited about this game. It was a lot of interesting back and forth, interesting plays that I was actually kind of really enjoying.
Yeah, I think it was another instance. We saw that Pelipper go down turn one last week as well. These trainers are really focusing down that Pelipper on that early switch in and putting Bone Club at a staggering position behind, really trying to take advantage of the game from there.
Yeah, I am once again love what the Quils is doing, and I would love to see this Pelipper put in a lot of work one day, and then just have to see it maybe next time.
Yeah, with today's game, that will be the game wrapping up. So I appreciate you all for joining us. Our next match going into the following week is a team we haven't seen yet, as they had a bye week, which is the Phoenix Phantoms, going to fight the chillin' Cyndaquils. So I hope you join us for the next time we see each other and that next battle. Till then, it has been lovely commenting for you all, and I appreciate and I hope to see you guys next time.
Later, gamers.